Yo, yo, yo. What's up, YouTube? Alright, that was cliche. But anyway, uh, my boot camp experience. It was a long time ago. We just traveled over the mountain, through the river, 2 miles, in the thunderstorms, and rain and lightning. Oh, what a time. So, anyway, we ended up walking into the Kearsarge, and this was leaving the initial ship that we were on to our permanent ship. And we got there, and we instantly hygiene and went to bed that night. Big things were coming. So, at that point, this is the second week, and the food at RDC is not bad. In my honest opinion, it's the best food that we've had so far out of this station I've been at, which I can't disclose, but it's not bad at all. Like, probably at least a 7 out of 10. Now, for some of the ships, the service is a little slow. Just what you gotta deal with. Coffee. If you're a coffee person, I'm sorry, man. You're gonna be drinking some black decaf coffee if you need it that bad. I know I cut it all off. But yeah, you're gonna get used to like the 8 different things they serve, and so anyway. I ended up, around that point, we ended up getting positions and whatnot, and they're going to give out positions. There is yeoman, which is practically dealing with, you're just doing all the paperwork, man, that the RDCs are too lazy to do themselves. And they're just a helping hand in the office. You got your MA, which is supposed to try to keep everything in charge, make sure that there's order and discipline. Your RPOC, which is Recruit Chief Petty Officer, and he's practically, you're gonna listen to him. You know, he's going to tell you everything. He calls cadence. But if you're gonna be a good RPOC, it's more than just calling cadence. You gotta go in there and actually lead by example, because what you're gonna find in boot camp, man, is there's gonna be a lot of hypocrites who do not. They'll tell you one thing, then you'll turn around, see them the day later doing the same thing they told you, bitch, at. Little things, man, you're gonna just see it in people's character come out, man. And everyone, I think that's the main thing, is everyone's dealing with something, right? Whether, for a lot of people, it's not physical. It's not a problem in boot camp. You're living under a rock, man. All your information that you're getting from the outside world is more or less just from instructors telling you, oh, yeah, the Clippers are in the semis playoffs, you know, or like, just like what's happening every day. Like, we found out a senator ended up getting killed or something, someone in government, but through that, and that's why the flags were masked. It is one of the strangest things solely relying on a letter, because you do not know how good that feeling is when you finally get one. And for me personally, I didn't get a letter until I was a month in, and it was so weird watching every day people around me get letters. It was a unique experience, man, but it was always cool, because at the end of the day, the RDCs, they'd have a moment with you, crack some jokes or whatever. At least for us, we would always sing Anchors Away right before bed, and then, man, hitting that mattress is the best damn feeling. And my damn MRE. I said in the last video I was gonna eat an MRE, but I ended up being distracted by telling y'all stories, and now it's working on my multitasking, to say the least. So yeah, we ended up getting there to our final permanent ship for the second week, you're going to do so much folding. You do more folding than you do working out. Really anything else, honestly. Like, you are practically a maid. Like, it is wild. And marching, man. You're gonna march at hours on end, and then to practice for excuse me about that, my bad. Almost tripped over her bag. I'll just let that happen. And what? So yeah, you're gonna do so much marching because you're gonna be marching in front of your families and friends, I presume, because right now with the whole COVID thing, you don't do it in front of your family members, but usually you're practicing to do it in front of your family. So I ended up over my time, like I said, they have the three main ones, which is MA, RPOC, and A-Rock. And A-Rock sings, MA keeps in charge, and RPOC, is the dude, and he's gonna get ranked up. So if you're looking for that creme de la creme, that's the way to go, man. Put yourself in the situation, because it's temporary. It's one experience out of many experiences you're gonna have. So just struggling to open this, the vibe. But yeah, I wish right off the bat I would have went for the position. But man, people are highly motivated in there. You just have to beat them, and a lot of people fuck up. So be ready to step in, but you're gonna get the smoke. Best believe that. MREs are a bitch to open. So what I ended up being was something called Yum PO, Head PO, which is more or less I make sure after 100 dudes every day take a shower and hygiene that it is spotless afterwards. And I was DCPO, so I made sure everything in the compartment was up to date, all perfect. I never got a rank up or anything, but I should have. And this is why. So in our ship, we ended up the pipes had something wrong with them, and like 4 times a day, the pipes would back up. With that, not even bad. This black shit would come up through the pipes, and the toilets would foam. And it would take like an hour, right, to finally clean this mess up, and 20 minutes later, it would back up again. So we ended up having to close off like certain toilets and whatnot. I remember. So on Sundays is your holiday routine. You don't have to do anything. You just get up, shine your boots, conversate with friends all day. It's cool. I spent one of my Sundays just cleaning one of these bathrooms, man. So it was so rough, man, because there was like little maggots in this, and we had to like walk around with like Kroger bags on our feet if we were gonna clean it and whatnot. I would have joined the laundry crew. They got beat a lot, but if I knew what I had to do, fuck that. If you can imagine an entire bathroom exploding, you're on point. So with that, you're going to stay and watch. The first night you get there, people are going to stay on watches, and more or less you got your roving watch and your security watch, and that means someone's going to stand at the door, and the other person goes around the compartment and makes sure everything's up to date, all the temperatures are regulated, and there's no problems happening. Rover is a lot better because you get to move, because you're going to do it in the middle of the night, 2 a.m.s, 4 a.m. watches. Terrible watches. They build character. And I'll say, being a security watch, man, standing at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning, just staring at a door, waiting for a chief, senior chief or a master chief to walk in so you can do your introduction of who you are, which is that if you relook at the first video, that's what you say every time, and those words are ingrained in your brain, man. And you'll be talking to senior chiefs in the middle of the night, and they'll question you. They're gonna ask you who is in your chain of command. So if you're going to like study anything, it's your general orders and your chain of command of RTC. Critical. And man, do not slack off on that depth test. Everything in that depth book, know it. Easy. Save you 9 months out the gate. So along with like living under a rock, man, there was no music, so that was atrocious, man. I probably forgot like 70% of the songs I used to listen to. I would just be singing "Ain't No Sunshine After the Rain," and all the time, and I was making up songs. We'd be rapping and whatnot in the in the bathroom at like 12 o'clock at night. Me and like 6 other dudes just spitting bar for bar. I had a lot of cool experiences, man, and honestly, I didn't even get beat that many times, just like once or twice, like individually, and that was over me talking at a quarterdeck. And I also, one time I left my rack open, and I had my petty officer standing right by my rack when I got back from chow. I'll say, it's all gonna feel very rushed because they're trying to fit 10 weeks into 8 weeks. And that's really rough because every day you're gonna be going to a classroom and learning, and because you're so physically exhausted, you are going to be nodding off in class. And that's gonna be really rough. And a lot of people, they'll get beat right there in the classroom if they don't like give the instructor, because that's all the instructors want, is you to have enough discipline to be like, I am tired. Go stand up at the back of the class. They want you to go stand up at the back of the class. But a lot of people just fall asleep, and because it's the only time where you feel like you actually are getting like good sleep. A lot of guys get Dear John'd in boot camp, and that's one of the sad truths. I had a guy come up to me while I was brushing my teeth and tell me he got broken up with through the letter. Guys, I hope everything goes well, but chances are, if they break up, there's someone good around the corner.
Excuse me.
Wow. Go. That was Thompson. CSSA Thompson. Wow. So yeah. What I was first talking about, that kind of interrupted me, but I'll tell you too, man. You're gonna build a lot of camaraderie going through that bullshit. I mean, y'all motherfuckers are showering together You get beat after showering. Best parts is fucking going to chow and eating 6 peanut butter sandwiches. So much peanut butter. You don't understand. These dudes, chocolate milk and peanut butter is the way of life in RTC. You would have guys with 3 chocolate milks just coming back. And, well, yes, the 10 weeks to the 8 weeks is rough because every day people are falling asleep in class, and you're fitting so much information in that time where it's not. Personally, I felt like the problem was getting it down to 8 weeks. Or, man, I am wrong. It's 8 weeks to 6 weeks. And it's 8 weeks in total because of the 2 weeks in quarantine you do, and then 6 weeks in total. So they're trying to take 8 weeks into 6 weeks. So it's just a lot, and a lot of people, they don't transition at all. They're still the same people they were when they walk in, just because it wasn't enough time to actually change a perspective. They're just doing the same shit they would in civilian life. I'll tell you this, man. You're gonna meet some really cool people, about 2 or 3 people, which are really sweet. And you go and just talk and get personal, man. Tell them about your life and whatnot. And those are gonna be the same people you have their number for a long time. Yeah, there's gonna be dudes in there that are going through some bullshit, because like I said, everyone's going through something, and most of them aren't physical. Everyone's missing home, missing their loved ones, missing gaming, missing fast food. Everyone got something, so people are very easily triggered. But man, my honest advice to anyone that actually hears this is go out there and be the most selfless person you can be. Help everyone. Be the best teammate you can be, and you will fly by. It worked, man. So, after test 1, I got a 90, and test 2, I got a 90. There comes a certain point where, it's mostly just marching, but you're gonna have a couple PFAs sprinkled in there, practice ones, just to see where you're at. Freedom Hall, man. Freedom Hall got this drought, this static air that just doesn't move, and it feels like you got COVID, so everyone's like coughing and stuff after their runs and whatnot. Got people like stressing, having anxiety, man. But it was always nice because when you're cooped up in the compartment getting to Freedom Hall, you just get to work out as much as possible. But the problem with during this COVID time is everybody on base is trying to get in the certain hour slot that they're given. Well, after that, man, you're just gonna you're gonna learn a lot of things, man. 3 things that I went in there trying to be as a more selfless human being. Trying to seek out questions. Integrity, of course, but try to just be a better leader at the end of the day. Just try to go out my comfort zone, because you have to feel uncomfortable to feel the growth. It's all temporary, man. It's all temporary. That's the boot camp experience, man. You're gonna go through, and it's gonna fly by. Out of the 720 months, we live by like we're 60 years old. It's only 2 months. It's not a lot of time at all. And so if you go in there with the mindset that this is going to be quick, it will. The best way to say this time warp that goes on is the days are long, but the weeks are short. You're probably gonna like your RDCs. I definitely like mine. Man. Bootcamp 2020 during COVID is one of the craziest experiences, simply with the fact that the biggest fear was getting robbed for the 2 weeks in quarantine. So there would be people that had symptoms and they wouldn't say anything just because they've already been quarantined 3 times, which means 6 weeks of just sitting in a room. I'm so lucky that I got to go all the way through. I'm very thankful. You'd have people come in with lab coats and just, they would all check your temperature, man. And during this COVID time, man, I don't know. I just felt like they weren't telling us everything of what was going on the outside world, how far they are in the research and whatnot. I don't know. That's not for this video though. Boot camp is fun. It's what you make of it. Don't fucking say every day is gonna suck and mope and just be the guy that bitches. Everyone's going through the same feelings. If you can crack a smile for someone, then you're all coasting. Alright. YouTube, any viewers out there, just be the best teammate you can. Goodbye.